Hello, I am Johnny from Green Herb Gaming, and I'm here tonight to discuss something that Ubisoft said recently about Nintendo Switch support. So, let me go into what Ubisoft said. Ubisoft has confirmed today during their financial report that they are the #1 third-party publisher on the popular Nintendo Switch. The company has released a number of games on the platform, including the well-received Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That particular game was the Nintendo Switch's top third-party game in 2017. And I am here to discuss Ubisoft's comments and decide for myself whether I agree or disagree with Ubisoft's views about that. So basically, Ubisoft have made themselves they've made themselves the #1 third-party publisher. They've come out in this financial report and said, "We are #1." Man. Okay, let me calm down for a second, get this game set up and do some discussion. No, I don't want squad, I do things solo, because that's how I roll. Okay, so Ubisoft have released a good amount of content on Nintendo Switch. Obviously, they released the fantastic Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That game is exactly what I want from third parties on Nintendo Switch. An exclusive game built ground up for Nintendo Switch that can only be played on Nintendo Switch. Not a toned down port of a game that released months ago on other consoles, but a game built ground up for Nintendo Switch, and that is exactly what Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle was. So I love that game. Very fun game. Very fun to see the Mario and Rabbids universes collide. Very challenging strategy game as well. I'm not here to review that game. I just want to say that game was absolutely fantastic and I enjoyed playing it. So they released that. And then they released, I think they released 2 Just Dance games. Or did they release Just Dance? Yeah, they released 2 Just Dance games, didn't they? I think. I could be wrong about that. But they definitely released a Just Dance game. No, I am not a Just Dance fan. Let's just leave that at that. Alright. They released Monopoly. I don't know if they actually released that or did that just get announced. But they definitely... Close the door, thank you! But they definitely announced a Monopoly game. I have no weapon. I thought there was a weapon in here. Oh, damn it. They definitely released a Monopoly, or announced a Monopoly game. No, I haven't played Monopoly the board game in many moons ago. I'm not particularly the biggest Monopoly fan. I'm not here to bash Just Dance or Monopoly. I'm just telling you that I'm not the biggest fan of Just Dance or Monopoly. Thought there was somebody behind me there. What else did they... they've announced Steep over a year ago, and we have yet to see that game on Switch. Steep is a snowboarding game that got released a long time ago on the other consoles. I'm not particularly the biggest snowboarding fan either, although I did buy I did buy some snowboarding game on the Wii years ago that came with that you can use the one way to exit that uses the balance board of the Wii. I thought that was quite fun, but other than that, not the biggest snowboarding fan. So when I heard about Steep coming to the Switch, I was like, eh. But again, not particularly the biggest fan of that game. Then they announced this game that I, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of, back at E3. That's coming out on all systems, so the Switch included. It's, I don't know what it is. It's some sort of a game that's, I think, based in space, that involves like spaceships, and you can attach something to the controller. It looks interesting, actually, to be honest with you. So I haven't quite made my mind up on that one yet. And they released, Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. Definitive Edition. Definitive. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic when I say Definitive Edition. Inverted commas. Definitive Edition. Shit, I'm going to die. In a very definitive way. Basically, Rayman Legends on the Switch is Rayman Legends on other consoles. It's that simple. It's just a straightforward port. You don't get anything new apart from some changes in the Kung football mode. But other than that, it's the exact same content that you would already have on other consoles. So I did not buy that because I already have Rayman Legends on the Wii U. So if I bought Rayman Legends Definitive Edition, it would be exactly the same game that I have on Wii U. Now let me think, am I missing anything obvious here from Ubisoft? If I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section, but I think that's what Ubisoft have either released or announced for Nintendo Switch. So, because of that support, which is, to be quite honest, it's not a support from Ubisoft on the Nintendo Switch, considering that the Switch has only been on the market a year next month. It's good support. But let's look at the kind of games that Ubisoft make. Let's look at the kind of games that real gamers want to play. I'm not bashing Monopoly, I'm not bashing Just Dance, but let us look at what the hardcore gaming fan base would want on Switch. Would they want A, Monopoly, or B, Assassin's Creed? I would take a very wild guess and say that the majority of hardcore gamers would prefer Assassin's Creed over Monopoly. Yet we don't have an Assassin's Creed game on the Nintendo Switch. Now, would Assassin's Creed Origins be a very difficult game to port to the Switch? Of course it would, 100%. But what about Assassin's Creed? Is it called Assassin's Creed? What? I'm not going to mention the name because I'm probably going to get it wrong. But there was a spin-off anyway of Assassin's Creed 4 that's coming to. There's some sort of a spin-off Assassin's Creed game anyway that's coming to the other consoles, and I'm just thinking, why not port that game to the Switch? Hell! If you're going to give us Rayman Legends, the Definitive Edition, which is basically the exact same thing as Rayman Legends on the Wii U, hell, just give us Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 in a bundle, for God's sake. It's still, from a hardcore gamer's perspective, it's still better than giving us Monopoly or Just Dance. Ubisoft also make games like Watch Dogs, the Ghost Recon franchise, and the Far Cry franchise. Yet none of those games are on the Switch. Instead, we have the Just Dance series and Monopoly games. And I just think, again, given the choice, asking the hardcore fan base what kind of games they would prefer to see, Monopoly, Just Dance, or Far Cry, Watch Dogs, or the Ghost Recon series, they're gonna go for... This guy does not want to die. He wants to kill me instead. They're gonna go for the hardcore franchises like Watch Dogs, Ghost Recon, and Assassin's Creed. So, what Ubisoft, the kind of support that Ubisoft has given Nintendo Switch, and the reason they feel they are the #1 third-party publisher on Nintendo Switch is because they have given us quantity. But I believe, from a hardcore gamer's perspective, they have not given us quality. Now let's look at what other third parties have given Nintendo Switch fans. Other third parties that haven't come out and claim to be the #1 third party publisher. Let's talk about Bethesda, a third party publisher who has very rarely, to say the least, supported Nintendo in the past. In fact, they made literally one game on the Nintendo system years and years and years and years ago. I think that was literally the only game that Nintendo or that Bethesda ever made for a Nintendo system. They have very rarely supported Nintendo. Now, let us look at what Bethesda have. Now, I want to point something out here. Obviously, Ubisoft is a far bigger company than Bethesda, and obviously because of that, Ubisoft have a lot more games than what Bethesda do. But nonetheless, Bethesda looked at the Nintendo Switch, looked at Nintendo Switch support, and said to themselves, we're going to give Nintendo Switch players our biggest games. We're going to give them Skyrim, the critically acclaimed open world action adventure game that has won multiple Game of the Year awards. They gave us Doom, one of the most iconic first-person shooters of all time. Doom, again built for PS4 and Xbox One architecture, actually successfully ported to the Nintendo Switch. This year, very soon, we are getting Wolfenstein 2. You want to talk about hardcore? Man, you don't get any more hardcore than, you know, shooting up Nazis. And that's just putting it mildly. All of those games have been announced and have been released for Nintendo Switch from a company that has very rarely supported Switch. Bethesda could have looked at and said, there's only going to be a bunch of kiddies who play Fortnite, I'm only joking, on Nintendo Switch. Let's just make a brand new game built just for the Switch, and let's just make it a game that involves, you know, petting your pony. And the more you pet your pony, you level up and you gain experience to customize your little pony. I'm being very sarcastic here, but that is what Bethesda could have done with the Switch. But no, they bought their biggest games to the Switch. The biggest games, you know, that appeal to hardcore gamers. The kind of games that gamers want to play. That's how Bethesda have supported the Switch. I'm going to pause this video, and I promise I'll be right back in about 12 minutes. You're going to have to bear with me. My apologies. How are you, Kate? I say I haven't had a birthday to you today, and I've birthday to you tomorrow. Sorry about that. I may get another phone call. I may get another phone call. Will I get another phone call? Am I currently in a second phone call? Sorry about that. The joys of live streaming. Oh, here we go. Listen, this is going to take approximately 6 minutes. My apologies. Just enjoy the Fortnite gameplay. I go back so you can see some Fortnite gameplay. Sorry about that. I'm back. Sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry about that. I don't even know if anybody is watching the stream. Hopefully they are. Let me just apologise for those two phone calls. You see, I could have ended the stream and made another stream, but I just... anyway, look, I'm back. So, where was I? Okay, so compared to Ubisoft, you know, Bethesda have went balls out with the Nintendo Switch in terms of support. Another company, in my opinion, that went balls out for Nintendo Switch support was actually 2K. The 2K games. Now I could say something else about 2K games another time, but for now, I will say that they gave the hardcore gaming fan base an NBA game, okay, hardcore sports game, basketball. They gave us a they gave us WWE 2K18 as damaged as it is. I'm not going to say broken because I'm a very literal person, and I feel if something is broken, then it's not. You can't play it. You can't damaged. Okay? But nonetheless, they supported the Nintendo Switch with a hardcore wrestling franchise. They didn't just give us... Can I just Google something very quickly, please? I know with the phone calls and everything else, this has just gone all over the place, but I just want to Google something. So I'm just curious to see who made this game. I don't even know if it's called that, is it? Oh, it's not even called that. Oh man. Sorry. Actually, do you know what? No, let me just... Yes, they did. Did they? Yes. Take-Two Interactive owned a game called Carnival Games that got released on the Wii. They could have given us Carnival Games. They could have said, oh, well, you know, the Switch audience is a bunch of kids, you know, a bunch of casual gamers. They don't want their serious games like NBA and WWE and LA Noir, all of which are on the Nintendo Switch. No, we'll give them Carnival Games. No, they didn't do that. Instead, 2K Interactive went all out and gave us a hardcore basketball franchise, a hardcore wrestling franchise, and they gave us LA Noir. So let me just go back to Ubisoft again now and look at what Ubisoft gave us. Instead of giving us Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, or the Ghost Recon series, they gave us, I was going to say Carnival Games there, they gave us Just Dance and Monopoly. I'm not criticising those games, I'm not bashing those games, I'm saying from the perspective of a hardcore gamer, those people would like to play hardcore games like Assassin's Creed than Just Dance. But instead Ubisoft gave us Just Dance and Monopoly. Compared to what 2K did. Again, 2K, they own a game called Carnival Games. Sorry, by the way, Carnival Games is a very casual party game aimed at casual gamers and kids. 2K Interactive could have given us that. But they didn't. They went all out and they gave us NBA. Something glowing up there. I can hear something glowing. So you know what? I think I'll just leave it, will I? I will too. So let me look at even EA. Even EA, to give EA credit here, they gave us their biggest franchise, FIFA. Do you know what I mean? Like, same day of release of other consoles as well. So I just think Ubisoft, you might be the top third-party publisher on Switch when it comes to quantity, but you're definitely not number one when it comes to quality. And when I mean quality, I mean the kind of quality games that hardcore gamers expect from third-party games. Games like Doom, games like Skyrim, games like Wolfenstein, games like LA Noire, games like the NBA series, games like FIFA,
you know, those type of games. I mean, even Namco Bandai are bringing Dark Souls to the Switch. There's a company, sorry I can't think of their name, but Payday 2 is coming to Switch. I mean, those are the games that hardcore gamers want. So, that's been my video anyway. I think I'll just continue with playing a bit of Fortnite just for the sake of the video. I'm sorry about that 12-minute delay. It's going to really annoy people. It's going to annoy people. It's going to completely affect the success of my video. Although I'm not really here for success. I'm just here for a bit of fun, really. But I think I'll probably round this into another video very shortly about third-party support on Nintendo Switch in general, and it'll be like a follow-up, kind of like a DLC, if you will, a DLC. I'm just looking to see that I get any comments. Nope, because I was gone for 12 minutes. Because you know, I wouldn't want to abandon my my lovely viewers. So yeah, I mean, even Microsoft brought the Minecraft series to the Switch. Hello, just literally got a viewer. Just literally got a viewer. Thank you very much for tuning into. Well, it's not an episode of Green Herb Gaming, but nonetheless, I am Johnny from Green Herb Gaming, and I'm just discussing Ubisoft's recent comments about Nintendo Switch support. They've, in a recent, was it a financial meeting or something like that, Ubisoft made themselves the #1 third-party publisher on Nintendo Switch, and I don't agree with that. I agree that they're #1 when it comes to quantity, because they have released a lot of third-party games on the Nintendo Switch, like the amazing Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. There was like 2 Just Dance games, Monopoly, and some game that they announced back at E3, and of course Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. So that's a lot of quantity, isn't it? But let's look at the quality. I'm sorry, but from the perspective of hardcore gamers, and quality here, you ask a hardcore gamer, what game would you like to play? Assassin's Creed or Just Dance? I'm sorry, but I think you know the answer is going to be Assassin's Creed. Would you like to play Monopoly or Far Cry? It's going to be Far Cry. So I don't believe that Ubisoft have delivered enough quality to the hardcore gamers. They've delivered quantity, yes, but not quality. Compared to how Bethesda have supported Switch. Bethesda have never supported Nintendo. This is the first time we've seen any real support from Bethesda on Nintendo hardware. And they've given us Skyrim, the critically acclaimed open world action adventure Skyrim. They've given us Doom, the most graphic, goriest, hardcore first-person shooter on the market, next to probably Quake, I think. I don't know what the most. Anyway, they've given us that. Sometime very soon, we're getting Wolfenstein 2. That's how Bethesda have supported the Switch. They could have said, yeah, I don't know about Switch. That's only going to be played by a bunch of kids who play Fortnite. I'm only joking. I said it twice in the stream, actually. This is the second time I said that, but I'm aware of the viewer who has just tuned in. He probably tuned out there, no, I don't know. But, you know, they could have said that, and they could have given us a new game just for the Switch that was about petting your pony, and every time you pet your pony you level up and get experience, so you can customise your pony's toenails. That's what Bethesda could have given us. You know? No, I'm not bashing Monopoly, I'm not bashing Just Dance, I'm just saying from the perspective of a hardcore gamer, I, Johnny from Green Herb Gaming, don't want to make a stream about dancing to Justin Bieber's latest album or latest single. You know, I don't want to be making a stream about how I bought a mansion or a street, a Monopoly. No, I don't. You know, that's not what I as a hardcore gamer want. But I'm loving playing Skyrim for the first time. I'm loving playing. I have Doom on PS4, but I'm loving the fact that I can play Doom in bed on a cold morning or a cold night. You know, I love that. And that's what Bethesda has given me as a hardcore gamer. You know, there's nothing quite like getting to the end of Doom, you know, facing all of those demons, you know, relentless forces of demons on ultra violent, the hardest difficulty of the game, with that amazing metal, that rock metal soundtrack to motivate you, in the comfort of your bed. That's what Bethesda has provided me as a hardcore gamer. And you look at what 2K have done with Nintendo Switch support. 2K Games, 2K Interactive, are a company that own a certain game called Carnival Games, which is a casual game aimed at kids and casual gamers. They could have said, you know what, we'll bring a new entry into the Carnival Game series for Switch. But no, they didn't do that. They looked at Nintendo Switch and they supported Nintendo Switch with hardcore titles like a hardcore sport game, NBA 2K18, a hardcore wrestling franchise, WWE 2K18, as damaged as it is, and they've given us LA Noire. I mean, you want to tell me that Nintendo consoles are only for kids? You tell that to LA Noire. You tell that to a murder victim whose head has been bashed in by a hammer, and you play the detective trying to look for evidence, of murder cases and sexual assault cases and graphic, violent adult content. That is what 2K have done on the Switch. Even EA. Now I could talk about EA for hours, right? But even EA have given their most successful franchise, their biggest franchise, the biggest sporting franchise in the world, FIFA. FIFA is on the Switch. They could have said, jeez, what don't EA say? But they could have said, let's just give them Plants vs Zombies. Yeah, they're a bunch of kids, they'll love that, But no, they give us FIFA. So I just think if you look at what other third parties have done in terms of quality, there's definitely a lot more quality, in the likes of, than what there is of Ubisoft. Ubisoft have given us quantity, but certainly they've lacked quality. They've given us quantity, but they've lacked quality. So, don't know if that viewer has just tuned out. Maybe he's not the biggest fan of Fortnite, but I just wanted to make. So basically, just recap my entire video and why do I always make my point across better when I recap? I don't know why that is. And again, apologies for the 12 minutes of 12-minute delay. I just got a phone call, and I knew I was getting a phone call. I was expecting a phone call, so I should have been ready for that. I should have just waited until after the phone call to make the stream. But sure, look, what can you do? I think after this game of Fortnite, I think I might just make a separate video just talking about third-party support in general for Nintendo Switch and try to fit all of this into the same kind of. I could make a repeat video as well, just to kind of follow up from my, because that 12. I'm very conscious about that 12-minute gap in this stream. It's just really able to turn people off. I know I wouldn't sit in front of a laptop screen or look at my TV screen or phone screen, look at a video over the 12-minute gap. I would tune out, so I'm conscious of that now, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm doing very well actually. I've got this potion that I can use. How do I use it? Does that give me a permanent shield, I wonder, or does it go down after a while? I could win this. I could come first, possibly. There's 12 people left on the map. Am I in the circle? Please tell me I'm in the circle. I am in the circle, yes. Thought I wasn't in the circle there for a second. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've bashed Ubisoft here. I kind of feel sorry for Ubisoft in a certain way. Here's the thing. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle from Ubisoft is the perfect third-party game, in my opinion. It is just perfect altogether. I've got an incoming call here. I'm going to put him live. Anthony, do you want to be live on my Green Herb Gaming channel? Yeah.
No problem. I didn't know you're on it. Are you on it now?
You're on loudspeaker and you're right next to my headset. What are your views on Ubisoft's comments?
What comments?
You didn't look at my message. Ubisoft have come out in a recent financial meeting or something, and they've literally named themselves. They literally just came out and said, we are the #1 third-party publisher on Nintendo Switch. And basically, I'll give you my recap views and let you speak then, right? Basically, what I think, very short and sweet, is they may be #1 on quantity, but they're definitely not #1 in quality. If you ask a hardcore gamer, what would they prefer to play? Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, or Monopoly or Just Dance? They're going to obviously choose Assassin's Creed. Listen, this.
Hang on a second, Greenheart. What?
Just listen. Let me finish first. So basically, Assassin's Creed or Far Cry, what are they going to choose? They're going to choose Assassin's Creed and Far Cry over Just Dance and Monopoly, right? So you look at what Bethesda have done. Bethesda could have turned around and said, nah, we're not going to support Nintendo. They're just for kids. We're not going to support them. Or they could have said, yeah, we'll support them. We'll make this game where you pet your pony, and every time you pet your pony, you level up and you get experience. And the more experience you get, you can customize your pony's fucking toenails. 2K, who own a certain game called Carnival Games, they could have said, oh well, a bunch of kids on the Switch, we'll just casual gamers as well. We'll just make a sequel to Carnival Games. Yeah, no, they didn't. They gave us two hardcore sporting franchises, NBA 2K18 and a very damaged WWE 2K18, but nonetheless 2K18, and they gave us LA Noire, the most violent, graphic and goriest game you could possibly think of. They gave us that. I mean, even EA could have turned around and said, oh, we'll just give them Plants vs Zombies. No, they gave us their biggest franchise and their biggest sporting franchise is FIFA. So I just think that for Ubisoft to come out there, and in spite of all that, for Ubisoft to come out there and say we are the #1 publisher on Switch, I just don't agree with that. In terms of quality, in terms of quantity, yes, but certainly not quality. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I absolutely totally agree with you, because that's one of the reasons I fucking absolutely hate Ubisoft.
Oh, this guy hates Ubisoft. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I do, and I quote that.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, no, Anthony.
No, well I am, because the fact is that this is the shite that they've done, that, oh yeah, we support the Switch. From day one they said that we're giving great support to the Switch. What do we get? Lovely Monopoly, as you just pointed out. We get...
No, I wouldn't bash Monopoly or Just Dance. I wouldn't be that I'm bashing those games. It's just that if from the perspective, like we're two hardcore gamers. Now we'll play anything. We probably would play Monopoly. No, we wouldn't play Just Dance, now to be fair. But we would play casual games. But nonetheless, from I'm not bashing those games, but I'm sure you would agree, like from the point of view of a hardcore gamer, we would much prefer to play Assassin's Creed and Far Cry than Monopoly and Just Dance. So they're #1 in
May I also state something as well, actually?
Yeah.
A so-called definitive edition of Rayman Legends was complete and utter nonsense. So it was complete and utter nonsense about a definitive edition, when actually it didn't run near as good as the Wii U apparently, and it had even longer loader times than what the Wii U had. So someone tell me, how was that a definitive edition?
Interesting, man, because that's exactly what I said at the start of this stream. Very, very true. No, I didn't even know that it performed worse. I didn't even know about that. But they call it a definitive version when it is essentially the exact same game that's on other systems. It's actually quite funny, because if anything, this will make you laugh. And if anybody is watching this stream, I'm sure they're going to laugh. If anything, the Wii U version is actually the definitive version, because the Wii U version allows you to control Murphy on the touchscreen. You can't do that on the Switch.
Yeah, it was built ground up for it.
It was built ground up for the Wii U. So if anything, the Wii U version is actually the Wii U. Rayman Legends on the Wii U is the definitive version of Rayman Legends, the definitive edition. How funny is that? But it's true.
Yeah, 100%.
So the original version is better than the definitive edition. But for you, I understand where Ubisoft is coming from. Like, they've obviously made a lot of money with the... No, let's be honest, right? Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a fantastic game. In my opinion, it's exactly what third parties should be doing on Switch, is building a ground-up game for Switch that's exclusive to Switch. It can only be played on Switch. That's not going to have any sacrifices. Like, Doom is fantastic on the Switch. It's amazing that they got a PS4 game running on Switch. But let's be honest, it runs at 60 frames per second and has resolution sacrifices. I keep saying Rayman fucking Legends now. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is designed ground up for the Switch, so there is no sacrifices whatsoever there. It is an amazing game, brings two franchises together, fantastic strategy game, difficult strategy game, fun strategy game. It's absolutely amazing what they've done there. So I will give them credit there, right? But like to come out and say that number one again, this is what I always say. Number one in quantity, but not quality.
100%, yeah, I agree on that, absolutely.
Oh shit. I'm going to put you down a bit there from the headphones, so you mightn't come out and I'll repeat everything you say for the sake of the stream. I'm actually playing Fortnite, because I had to do the stream, so I had to play something while I was doing the stream. Oh no, this guy could say a lot about Fortnite.
Don't like it, do not like it.
He doesn't like Fortnite, everyone. Now I'm going to hide here. I want to win a game of...
I leave that for another stream.
Yeah, he'll leave that for another stream. I am desperately... Oh god. So I'm not going to win here because I'm out in the open. My strategy for Fortnite is to land, find a weapon, even if it's a tiny little weapon. I'm going to die here now. Is to find a weapon and hide. Go into a small building and just hide and let everybody kill themselves. Right? Let everybody kill themselves. And like currently there's 5 people left on the map. Oh, I'm going to die. Ah, you got me. I just died. So yeah,
let them put their money where their mouth is and give us Zombie 2.
Zombie 2, I would love Zombie 2.
Yeah.
Like...
Or again, even to go back to the original of the origins of that, the one that you really wanted before it became Zombie 2, wasn't it?
Oh, Killer Freaks from Outer Space. I was just gonna say Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but that's a fantastic B movie. I'm watching too much Netflix now, 100%. But like, I just think that, like, I'm not 100% denying what Ubisoft are saying, but I'm just putting it into. It all depends on how you look at that. Like, I look at that from the point of view of quantity. I don't look at that from the point of view of quality, because at the end of the day, again, if you ask a hardcore gamer what do they want to play in terms of quality, I can guarantee you they're going to say, I want to play. Sorry, how's that guy fucking?
But if you actually think about it, you could be talking about a casual gamer to the Wild, which they would have after getting a Switch, right? Like that, so like from a third perspective, you could get it like obviously Assassin's Creed on it. Like it doesn't. It could be just an exclusive one, or if they want to do like there's no excuse when they've done this.
Here's what I said a second. I said. Yeah, to add to your point. To add to your point there about Assassin's Creed, right? About being an Assassin's Creed game today. That's what you were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to make sure that you were talking about that. I mentioned this early on in the stream. If they brought Rayman Legends to the Definitive Edition, which is basically a Wii U game, if they brought that to the Switch and they glorified the hell out of that, right? Which they did, and they literally put it in the title, Definitive Edition. So if they can do that, at the very least, why don't you just go away and bring Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 as a bundle?
Yeah.
At the very least, like Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 on the go, with added Joy-Con support, HD Rumble, touchscreen support. At the very least, it's the exact same thing. Actually, it would be better if they added in all that control support compared to...
What about Assassin's? The one that they really should have brought over is the one that is actually the sequel to number 4, the Rex sequel to number 4, and that was the remaster that came on 360 and PS3 only.
What's that called again? Rogue, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it was called Rogue. I wasn't too sure. I was going to call it out in the stream, but I wasn't too sure if it was called. But like, I don't want to be like, before you rang, I was actually just in the middle of Ubisoft. Like, I'm not really bashing them as in fully on bashing them. I'm just saying that they're number one, but it's all a matter of how you put that into context. They're number one in terms of quantity, but I think from the point of view of quality, they're not number one. Like, I mean, Quality as in like, it's the only way I can put it, like quantity over quality. That's the only way I can put it. So when I say quality,
It's pretty bad that they're actually going around bragging that though.
yeah, it's like that's the whole point. That's why I wanted to make that video. Is the fact that they come out in this meeting and they expect to say we are the number one third party. I mean, how can you say that when you have Assassin's Creed next to you, you have South Park behind you, you've got Far Cry down in the cheap seats. You know, you've got all these massive franchises behind you, which are not on the Switch, and you still stand by your statement that you are number one. When you have Bethesda bringing 3 of their biggest franchises to the Switch, you've got 2K Games, which have brought fantastic franchises to the Switch. You know, you even have Namco Bandai, or Bandai Namco, however they want to pronounce their name these days, bringing Dark Souls to the Switch. You know, like you've got Payday 2 coming out this month, with exclusive content coming first on Switch. Like, how in the hell can they honestly stand there and say...
Why can't actually they do Capcom in that list? Because
Capcom as well, yeah, Capcom are bringing...
You have to vote Resident Evil,
yeah.
you're going to have 2 Street
Yeah,
Fighters.
and Capcom could have come out and, like, I'm sure... Yeah, I'm sure Capcom could have made many casual games, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the thing about it is, for you as a company, Ubisoft, to come out and say, we are number one because we brought Just Dance and Monopoly over Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, is just, in my opinion, is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Ghostbuster himself coming out and typical shite thing comes out, right? So it is, and as you said, it's in quantity, yes, not quality.
Yeah, man, that's the only way I can actually put it. Like, it's.
I never saw Monopoly break any records.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know who came out and actually made this statement. I can only presume that it is the CEO himself that has said this. But again, as you pointed out, like, Monopoly is no Assassin's Creed. Monopoly is no Far Cry. It's no Watch Dogs. It's no Ghost Recon. Like, come on. Like, I mean, like, it's just ridiculous. I know that, like, obviously the big factor here, and I even mentioned this in the stream early on, obviously Ubisoft is a far bigger company than Bethesda, and even you pointed that out there when I was making my prediction that, you know, that Bethesda will be publishing or working on Metroid Prime 4. So, and obviously they don't have as many games as Ubisoft. But the point is, they could have looked at the Switch in terms of support and said, no, we're not going to support them. And if we do support them, we're just going to make this casual game.
Absolutely.
The fact is, they brought all of their biggest franchises to the Switch. You know, they didn't think twice about it. They went all out with it. Like, I mean, they're technically... Now, I could be wrong when I say this. But... Skyrim was the first third-party game that we saw on Switch shown. So Bethesda went straight out and said, we're going to support the Switch. Because when you look back at that concept...
Yes, because that was actually shown even in
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was showing the concept reveal trailer back last year in October. So, like, that's their way of saying, like, we are supporting Switch. Like, to my knowledge, there wasn't one single Ubisoft game shown in that trailer.
100%, yeah.
So I just don't know where they're really...
Another one was actually 2K with the bad.
Now, if they surprise me, and if they're doing this for a reason, if they come out tomorrow morning in a follow-up meeting and say, we're pleased to announce that South Park is indeed coming to Switch, bundled with the original one, if they say, stay tuned for an Assassin's Creed announcement, if they say, oh, Watch Dogs 1 and 2 is coming to the Switch, you know, if they do all that in the next 24 hours, then I will delete this video.
No, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but until they do that, I stand by what I say.
You should ask everyone if they want, if they like this, if they want a 2-panel discussion on your video reports anymore. You should ask everyone here if they like a 2-panel discussion on your gaming channel anymore. To like and share this video if you like.
Yeah, if you like this guy, if you like Mr. Samus Aran, massive Metroid fan he is. If you want him on Green Herb Gaming, let me know in the comment section below.
Get liking and sharing.
Get liking and sharing, yeah. Liking and sharing.
Yeah, but I actually think that's very hypocritical of Ubisoft, because they're actually going to be open. They're actually opening themselves now for a lot of abuse by that statement from Nintendo fans, and in general, actually from any gamer fans. Anyone who owns a Switch, oh yeah, lovely, we got Monopoly.
I know, yeah. Like, I mean, who's exactly? Like, I mean, that's my point. Like, that's my point. Like, who's going to be happy with what Ubisoft are saying? A bunch of casual gamers, maybe, but like, who exactly are Ubisoft addressing with that statement? I mean, who exactly are they hoping to get excited? I mean, it's absolutely 100% ridiculous, man. It's just crazy. Like, again, like I don't know like what Ubisoft have in store for Switch in 2018. I don't know, but like, if they're basing their comments from what they've released so far and what they've announced so far, then I just don't agree from the point of view of quality. Like, I mean, again, I want to point out that 2K. I keep saying 2K. I meant to say fucking Take-Two. Sorry, I should have said Take-Two Interactive, right? So if anyone listening to this right now, when I say 2K Games, I actually mean Take-Two Interactive. They're the parent company of 2K and Rockstar. No, they own two games, right? One of those games is Carnival Games, a casual game, a party game, right? Another one is table tennis, right? So we've got table tennis and Carnival Games. So Take-Two Interactive could have done what Ubisoft did and released table tennis and Carnival Games instead of releasing LA Noire and NBA 2K18. But they didn't. They went with NBA 2K18 and they went with LA Noire. So they provided us with quality, which is something I just do not see with Ubisoft.
And NBA 2K18, WWE 2K18, and as you said, LA Noire.
Yeah, and like as damaged as WWE 2K18 is, that's the new word now, because I don't think it's broken. For something to be broken, you can't physically play it. Like, if the game was broken, I wouldn't be able to boot up the game. It's that simple. So it's not broken, it's just heavily damaged.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's on the Switch, and it's not Monopoly, and it's not Just Dance.
Absolutely.
You know?
I just think it's an awful stupid thing to come out with what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm only going by my Nintendo News article, so I don't know exactly how they put it. Like, because there's not even an official quote there. Like, but so I don't know exactly how they ended up saying what they said. You know, I'd love to know that. I'd have to look that up later on tonight. Yeah. But like,
I can do it now.
Yeah, you do it there. You do it there, Mr. Metroid.
Just to see what they actually have up here. I'll just go to the news, because obviously if there was in their stocks.
Yeah. For anybody listening, when it comes to third parties, me and my buddy Anthony, we're like Mulder and Fox when it comes to the gaming industry. Like, we don't believe that third parties are who they really are. There's a conspiracy within third parties.
That's for sure.
And I'm definitely more of the Fox Mulder. I'm more of the Fox Mulder, like.
I'm the bitch.
You're the Scully who continually debunks my theories. And then eventually has no choice but to... Oh, I just died. Then eventually has no choice but to agree with them.
Right, okay. They're saying about Steep. It's extreme sports game Steep is coming to the platform later this year. Now that's concerning. That's not in there. Like, should elaborate that the Steep is coming and say actually Steep 2 rather than Steep.
Yeah, it's just...
There's no point giving us the original Steep now.
Yeah, like, I mean, if that's exactly it. Like, I mean, if they come out... Like, hey, let's put things in perspective, shall we? Ubisoft have announced that Steep 1 is coming to Switch. That's what they said last year. At that stage, when they announced that Steep was coming to the Switch, Steep had already been out on other consoles for a long time. Now, at this stage, it's been a very long time, and now they're saying later this year. Now, we can only suspect that it's Steep 1. They haven't said Steep 2. This is Steep 1 for all intents and purposes.
They've actually lost their chance now, especially with
Yeah, like for all intents and purposes, yeah, for all intents and purposes, it's Speak 1 coming to Switch. So you compare that to how Bethesda have done business. Like that Nintendo Direct that we had back in April or May, whenever it was, right? Oh no, it wasn't May, sorry, it was September of last year, right? When we got our big announcement. Like when Bethesda announced Wolfenstein, was it Wolfenstein The New Order?
No.
Was it Wolfenstein the Old Blood or whatever it's called?
No.
No, it was Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. Fair enough, a little bit later than the other consoles, but it's nothing like releasing Wolfenstein 1 later this year.
Absolutely.
Which is what Ubisoft are doing with Steep. So again, it comes back to their quality over their quantity, and clearly they're lacking in quality. No, I feel like I'm giving Ubisoft an awful bashing here, like, you know, but it's not that I'm giving them an awful bashing, it's just that like, they need to be called out in terms of how they're putting themselves as number one. Like, number one, again, in how many games they've released, the quantity that they've released, but just certainly not quality. Now, I'm going to stay on the phone with you, Anthony, but I'm going to end the stream now because I think I've said all I need to say. This video is going to way too long. But myself and Anthony will continue this conversation without you. Sorry about that.
Right.
But so I'm going to end it now. Seconds there. Now, how do I?